It's Thursday, January 8th, 2015. Since I'm towards the end of my 30-year experiment, 30-year journey, I was going to wait till after January 20th to speak to you more about religion in the light of this disgusting criminal act of killing these French writers, editors, cartoonists by just two or three thugs. Details are coming out. I want to talk a little bit more about religion, and it'll be a little extended. And I'm glad I'm having this conversation with you now because you're 30 years old. I think certain things at a certain age, a person does not have experience to understand it a little as well in depth as possible. One thing is that, coming from Iran and my experiences, freedom of expression is non negotiable. A person's ability to write, again, to write and express themselves, cannot be abridged by any government, anybody whatsoever. And we'll get a little bit more into that. But let me just, I'm going to show you some stuff that video, audio resources that I think you should go to. Some you might be familiar with, some probably not. But I'm just gonna go through these. Spend a lot of time or a few video clips on this for anybody that happens to watch this. Myth and mythology from all over the world. There are plenty of DVDs, videos now. I think that's something that should be tapped into. This is just one DVD, History Channel, but there's possibly other ones, much better ones, online. But this is a DVD I got out of the library. This was Sacred Journeys by Bruce Feiler. Is 6 pilgrimages or sacred journeys that he covers in this documentary. It's done well. I think one should definitely watch it and just learn from it. Since we were still talking about mythology and stuff, I like Joseph Campbell's works, whether one agrees with everything he says or not, but all his videos and audios are definitely worth your time, and I recommend watching them one time, if you can, in entirety, and giving it a little time, a few months, a few weeks, go back to it, because there are certain things that one might miss the first time around. Then go back to it if you feel like it. Since I'm just going to mention a few things about Islam, I grew up in a Muslim household. My parents were devout Shia Muslims, and I'll elaborate on that. I just threw the Shia in there just so you know the heritage. There's no bypassing it. You got to talk about it. In the Quran, you have chapters and verses. Verses are ayahs, ayah in Arabic. And ayah means sign, a sign. And I think if Prophet at the time around him, if there were people who were in the context of his time, if they were knowledgeable, he would say every time you look in the universe, you will see an ayah, because God reveals himself. The creator of the universe reveals her majesty that way, and science is a great tool for us to use to understand more and guide us through this amazing wondering of learning what life is all about, whether it's in chemistry, biology, zoology, astrophysics, physics, math. Just wonderful. Now I'll expand on these more later. This was a biography, a video of a biography or sketch of life of Prophet Muhammad. And it was done right after 2001, those criminal attacks that took lives of so many people. And so when you watch this, make sure you know that it was done right after those attacks. And I think it was published on 2012 or released on 2002, I'm sorry, and before the Iraq invasion. So keep that in mind. Since I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Islam, at least my heritage, my understanding, I'm going to write down the Prophet's name, Muhammad, Prophet Muhammad. And out of respect to all Muslims, we say Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You praise God to him. So a lot of Muslims will say that. So we're going to respect our brothers and sisters, Muhammad. And that's the tashdid. Anytime you see that sign over a letter, that letter is pronounced twice. So it's Muhammad. And calligraphically, or people when they write it fast, they do it like that too. That he kind of goes like that. Exception, but just you got to know it. So there's Prophet Muhammad's name, how it's written. And of course, our last name starts with Nur. And Nur means light. But let me give you a little context. When Prophet received his first revelation, and it mentions it here in Jabal al-Nur, the mountain of Nur, it was inside a cave, a dark cave. And every time I think of the word Nur, I think of God's brilliance, majesty, that can penetrate just like a Nur, even into a dark cave, and touch, in this case, the Prophet. So God is everywhere. Every time I think of that word, I think of God is everywhere. Wherever we are, whatever part of the planet.